Hello. This week it's all about, for me at least, preparing for my talk on Friday at Jersey Library. So if you're coming, they're all free tickets, but there are still some tickets left because the talk is from 1 till 2, and I guess if you're working in town, your lunch break starts at 1. You can't leave work at 1 and be there at 1. It probably would have been better if it was 1:05 till 5 to 2 maybe, I don't know. Anyway, if you can make it, I'd love to see you. And I will be, this is front and back of 2 of the bookmarks that I'll be giving away. So obviously it's got my name on the front because I'm doing the talk as Georgina Troy, and it's about basically why I love self-publishing so much, even though I'm published by 2 traditional publishers. It's also a little bit about why I love self-publishing, what it is about self-publishing, how to self-publish if that's something you've ever thought of doing, and also how my self-publishing led to my first traditional deal with HarperCollins. But bookmark, that's the front, and that's the back of this one. So this is the Sunshine Island books, and you can see the QR code there that you can just put your camera over and scan it to get a copy. And this one is For Love Begins. Oh, helpful, show the other side. So there we go. Those I'll be giving away. I'm also, when I go to my talk, I'll be taking these. So sorry for people who aren't in Jersey, these are just a side note if you are in Jersey. So with each time a book is published of mine, I get I think it's 3 copies of the paperback, a CD of the audiobook. I also get a hardback copy, but I also get these, and they're quite chunky, as you can see. These are for each book, and they are CDs, see various different ones for the book, so for the audiobook. So this one is Snow Angels at Golden Sands Bay. This one is Welcome to Hollyhock Farm, Wedding Bells by Sunflower Cliffs, and Secret Escape Sunshine Island. So I have ones for every single of my books in the different series. I mean, look, that's quite a chunky lot. That's only 4. I think I've got probably about 10 or 12 to take in. So again, if that's something you like to listen to, if you come to my talk on Friday, they'll already be there. If you come afterwards, then obviously they'll already be there. So that's another thing I'll be doing. I'm also, so I'm preparing my slides at the moment. The thing is with slides, it's how many slides? It's only an hour. Obviously, I want people to be able to ask me questions. It's very informal, very relaxed. If you are used to watching me on my YouTube channel here, this is basically how I do a talk. I'm very relaxed, and hopefully people feel I'm very approachable too. So I've got to work out, I'm refining my slides that I've put together for this talk, because you want to be interesting to people, not bore them. I've also just finished, well, I haven't just, the other week I finished reading this book. So this is Beyond Summerland by Jenny LaCote. Now, Jenny LaCote and I are doing a talk on the 28th at the Arts Centre here in Jersey. Those tickets are £9 each, and it's an In Conversation With. And we've been discussing what we'll be talking about, because we'll be asking each other questions. We've read each other's books, so we know what we're dealing with. We'll be doing a short reading from the books. So I love this book, by the way. Absolutely love this book. Whereas my Neighbours at War is set during the occupation. Jenny's book, Beyond Summerland. Summerland is 2 things. So Summerland is a factory here where they, during the occupation, they made clogs and they recycle clothes and shoes and things like that, because obviously nothing was coming into the island for the islanders to buy, no clothes, that sort of thing. And so they recycled things and made something new out of something old, which was fantastic. And that was at Summerland, where quite a few of the locals worked. But the locals, the Germans who were stationed here, also referred to Jersey as Summerland, because it was like a constant summer. If you can see out my window now, you'll know it's actually quite windy, and it is sunny, but it's quite windy and it's not that warm. So that's next week's though. So that's what I'm doing this week. I'm working on my slides. I mean, I'm in between books, which it's the first time I've had a break. I'll have a 2-week break in between books for the first time in a very long time, and I'm making the most of it. I mean, obviously I'm working this week because I am doing my slides for my talk, and next week I will be preparing for my talk with Jenny, but also I'll be reading another author's historical novel that I've been asked to give a quote for. I've actually got 2 books, one to finish this week and one to read next week, and I'll tell you more about those at a later date. The one I'm halfway through, really loving, and the one I'm about to read, I've read the author's books before, so I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy it, you know. So we'll see. So I've got to give a quote for both. So that's exciting. I love doing that. But it's, of course, finding the time. And in the last 2 weeks, because I've had such a build-up of one book after the other, and in between that edits, my eye got very sore. I got quite run down, so I was quite unwell last week. But you've got to learn to pace yourself, Debs. That's what I try and tell myself. But this week I am, so that's good. And all the time that I'm actually taking a bit of time out from writing books, because I have to start one at the very latest by the 1st of October, I am thinking about what to write. I'm coming up with different ideas for that book. That book is the 3rd book in the Hollyhock Farm series. I don't know what the title is called yet, but that is Joe's story. Joe is a firefighter. And I wasn't quite sure what to do with his story. I know vaguely, but I knew even though he's a firefighter, I couldn't have a fire in the story, which a bit odd, but I can't, because I've had a fire in the 1st book. So obviously you don't want to repeat yourself. But I actually know what I'm going to do now, and once I've written the book, I will tell you why. It will be in my author note, where the inspiration came from, someone quite close to me, my cousin, and that's what I'm hoping to write. So if my editor likes the idea, that's what I'll be writing as a big scene in the book, certainly. So you never stop. I think when you write, it's like, well, I suppose it's like when you watch your films. At the moment, my son is back from Japan after 5 years, and I've never watched The Sopranos before. Yes, I hold my hand up. I know I'm very late to the party. It's not something I ever thought, I ever considered watching. When he was still in Japan, said, "Mum, I'm going to watch Sopranos with you. You're going to love it." And I'm completely addicted. And I'm one of those people, if I want to binge watch something, I will sit and binge watch it till I can't probably see very much. I did that during lockdown with Schitt's Creek, which was brilliant. It kept me more cheerful than I otherwise would have been, thankfully. But The Sopranos, I'm really enjoying it. We've only got 4 episodes left, and James is sort of restricting us to 2 episodes a night, and it's probably enough. I'm very sad that it's going to end, but I also want to know what happens. So please, no spoilers in the comments, because I'll see them. And I don't want to know, I want to see it first. So that's what I'm doing this week. So it's quite a calm week for me. I'm not nervous about my talk. I'm excited about my talk. I will be more excited if I know that I'm not standing there talking to myself. I know a few people who are going, thankfully. And I will be dragging my son along if he doesn't have an interview. He's looking for jobs at the moment, so he's had quite a few interviews. So I'm hoping he doesn't have one at lunchtime on Friday, and I will be dragging him along. I was dragging my mum along, just so, again, I'm not the only person there, or I'm at least talking to somebody for that hour, but she's got a sore leg at the moment, so she can't come. So my son is going to be dragged along instead. And bless him, he lives with me, so he probably knows it all anyway. He's probably heard it all before. As my daughter said, she's quite surprised when she say something about like the writing process or something to a friend in some sort of conversation, and they don't know what she's talking about. She said, you don't realize how much you pick up just by living with me, I guess, and me just with my daily life, I guess. It's living with anybody who does a job. You pick up something of that job, don't you? You get a sort of gist of what it's about, even if it's not something you do. So that's my thing. I hope you're having a good week. What are you doing? Are you doing writing, reading, or are you reading? I'm reading It's called, and I can't remember her name. Oh, last. I think it's The Witchfinder's. Is it The Witchfinder's Daughter? It's very by Ruth. Oh, so annoyed. I think I forgot this last time. I'm rubbish with names. I met Ruth. She's a wonderful lady and very, very well versed in the era. So I was excited to read the book, and I am very excited to read the rest of it. I had to stop for a while, unfortunately, because I was so busy. My eyes are so tired from all my writing my next book for HarperCollins, which was delivered last Tuesday, and then going straight to working on proofs for Second Chances at Hollyhock Farm. Oh, thank you, by the way, if you're one of the people who suggested a name. I don't know if there were 71 or 51 people. There was a very quick competition yesterday to name the alpaca, one of the 3 rescue alpacas in my Hollyhock Farm series, and somebody did win. It was very hard to choose, actually. There were some wonderful suggestions. I loved them. But I chose one, and I think the winner probably will have already been advised. If not, they soon will be. So thank you very much if you were one of the people who entered the competition. Yeah, I love alpacas. And again, at the back of the book, there's something about, we don't actually have alpacas in Jersey. And I've written about why in the back of the book. You need a special license for them. Because they can bring over what is essentially like tuberculosis to the island. Of course, we can't afford to have our cows, our Jersey cows, affected if somebody did bring over an animal with that. So it's to do with that sort of thing. You need a special license. You can apply for one, but I don't think any have been given for, if ever, for alpacas, but certainly not for a very, very long time. So, but I love alpacas, and this is fiction. And as much as my book is as realistic as I can make it, I think if I can't have an alpaca myself, I'm going to have one somewhere along the line. So it just has to be in my Hollyhock Farm books. But anyway, thank you if you did enter that competition. And I suppose I should go, because my slides are not going to finesse themselves, are they? And I do need to get myself sorted and practice a bit for my talk on Friday. If you do come along, if you've got nothing else to do between 1 and 2 on Friday, please go online. I'll put the link below. And get yourself a free ticket. It's just a link really to a ticket that you can have on your phone. And do come along. I'd love to see you. And yeah, say hello. So thank you for joining me. I better get on with my work now. I'm actually drinking tea today. That's the 3rd week I think I've had tea rather than coffee. It is pure fluke. I had a coffee earlier. This one is my Beekeeper's War mug. So thanks for joining me, and have a great week. See you next time.